Hey guys, how are you guys doing? Thank you for joining me. I see there's a lot of you guys in, and I appreciate that. Today, we have something super dope. This is the first time it has ever happened on my show, at least. We have two dope, amazing women that are part of the 2A community. One of them is strictly 2A, the other one actually 3D prints. And I found out she learned to 3D print faster than I did. So I'm sad. Nah, but on the real, thank you guys, and I appreciate you. Let's see who was first today. Oh, look at who we have. Mr. Many Enemies Bring Much Honor. We got I. What's up, homie? CT. We got WTS Media and Guns from the Grave. Bro, how are you doing that? Like, that's impossible. And we have IPS. Shout out to IPS. Make sure you guys go check out Nasty Industries. That's the homie right there. We got Kurt 24, Sons of Murray, Swarm Tech. Tomorrow, I will have Swarm Tech. And we have FybreGoth. But wait, I thought she was backstage. What are you doing? Where are you at? Nah, but on the real note, let's get this started. The first guest, everybody knows who she is. A lot of you might know her from printing dope nylon. Some of you might know her from making cool hats. Others might know her because she's your wife. We have FybreGoth. How are you doing? And the second guest, damn, is somebody that's dope. If you don't follow her, I don't know what you're doing with your life because this woman right here means business. We got It's Destiny. How you doing?
Hey, I'm doing well. How are you?
Good, good. All right, guys, let's get this started. FybreGoth, if you want, let the people know who you are and what you do, and then it will be Destiny's turn.
Hi, I'm FybreGoth or Lisa. I print and I crochet. And I've just started shooting this year, so that was super awesome.
And then what about you, Destiny?
It's Destiny or Destiny. I'm new in the 2A community. I'll say I really started December 2021.
All right, cool. So, how long have you been doing 2A for, Lisa?
Oh, me?
Yeah.
Gosh, just like since February, basically.
Okay.
And I wasn't really comfortable with guns and stuff before that uh, until I learned how they go together and how they function, and then I got more comfortable with it.
All right. And then what about you, Destiny? How did you start your journey into the 2A community?
I started my journey because my cousin is a firearms instructor. So
Okay.
back in October 2020, he was doing a class, and I was like, hey, let me support my cousin and see what this is all about. So I went to the class. I kind of sat on my permit for about a year and a half, give or take. And then December 21, I filed for the license, got it, and purchased my first firearm.
Oh, wow, that's dope. All right. And then I have a question for both of you guys, for girls. Am I okay? No, I'm joking. Okay, so the question is, were your families 2A friendly? Like growing up, were you guys part of 2A? Like, did your dad or your mom have a gun? How was that growing up? And it could go whoever wants to answer first.
You go first.
So no, my family was not 2A to my knowledge. My dad was in the military, he was in the Air Force. So unbeknownst to me, we did have firearms in the house. I actually found one when I was like 14 years old. But they never talked about firearms or going shooting or teaching us about it. So it
All
wasn't
right,
really
cool.
family friendly.
And what about you, Lisa?
We didn't have them growing up. I had a lot of military family, but I didn't really have any experience with firearms. My grandpa had a couple shotguns, and that was about it.
Oh, okay. So I think we're here because I've been trying to work on this to have you both on the show. And the reason that I've been trying to do that is because I want to get more women involved in this culture, right? Especially you, Lisa, that you've been 3D printing and you've actually learned how to do nylon, which I don't even know how to do nylon. So I'm kind of like, yeah, I'm kind of jealous about that, but in a good way, right?
Teacher.
Yeah, exactly. You had a dope teacher, so that's why I'm not that, upset about it. But then you, Destiny, having the way that you run your Instagram actually motivated me a lot to start changing my ways, right? Because I started noticing that you were mixing 2A, but at the same time, you were also being open about people's feelings and emotions and just talking about the stuff that you see and that you're not okay with instead of just saying, yo, I'm just going to push gun content and I'm going to look cute and then just hold guns, like the regular other people that start doing this or women that start doing this. So that's why I wanted to have both of you guys on this show. One question that I want to ask you, both of you, is first to Lisa. How long did it take you to learn to print, and what do you enjoy about 3D printing?
Well, I believe our first printer was during COVID. So my hubs ended up doing a lot of stuff, playing around with them, learning to build the printers and make sure everything was perfect first. And then after a few months, we were printing stuff for my craft fairs, hair things and bracelets and necklaces. And then after that, I mean, that was just like a couple months of learning. And then once he got into the 2A side of it, he was obsessed. And then I wanted to learn. So I jumped right in. So it's probably like, I don't know, 2 years in all from bracelets to printed firearms.
That's dope.
It's a lot of fun.
I can imagine.
Uh-oh, did we lose the bar?
I was gonna say, is he frozen?
Oh no. Uh-oh. Come back, Sabr. Well, how did you get into the 2A stuff, Destiny?
Well, I kind of feel like once you get, oh, you're back.
It's California, guys. I apologize, but I just got a notification that I need to turn off my light. That's how it is to live in a communist state. Welcome to
You have
California.
to turn off your light.
Nah, I'm joking. It's a joke.
Oh,
I think the Wi-Fi just went off.
I totally believed you too.
Me too.
All right. So what were you guys talking about? Sorry, I interrupted.
I was asking Destiny how she got into 2A.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, like I said, my cousin, and then once I started going shooting to the range with him or with friends or even by myself, you kind of just get addicted. It's so easy to become a gun enthusiast. I never thought I was gonna be one of those people, but I'm definitely one of those people. So it's like once you're in, you're in. So I'm stuck.
That's cool. What about you, FybreGoth? How did you get into the 2A scene? I know because of Ed, but
Yeah, I never really had anybody show me or teach me how to use firearms until I got married to him. And then he has property at his grandma's that we can go shoot at. So the first time I shot, he was like, here, shoot this scarab into the pond. And it was so fun.
yeah, he says I need to move my ass to Alabama, and I will cut his grass. All right. Okay, that's cool. So first of all, let's talk about your EDCs, right? I know everybody wants to know, like, what are girls' EDCs? So first of all, FybreGoth, what's your EDC?
Wait, what's the EDC? I'm
Like
sorry.
your everyday carry. Well, like, what gun do you carry every day?
Oh, yeah. I have a, Smith and Wesson with a crimson trace that my mom gave me,
Oh
and
wow,
that's my go-to because it's so easy. Just 9 mil laser everything.
damn. And
Yeah.
what about you, Destiny? What's
Mine is
your
the
EDC?
P365.
What was it again?
P365.
Okay. Oh yeah, you're a SIG girl, huh? You don't like Glock. Forgot.
I, they gonna be mad. I'm not a block girl. I'm a
Okay.
sig.
Okay, so let's talk about why don't you like Glocks? Like what's the reason behind you not liking Glock?
Okay, people might think that it's dumb, but in all the songs, in all the movies, they talk about their Glock, their Glock. It's like the stereotypical black person gun. And so I didn't want to go with the stereotype.
Yeah,
And
I
I
get
went
you.
with the SIG because I actually like the SIG, you know. I shot it before I purchased it. So it was a good
Yeah.
fit for
I mean, I like SIGs. They're nice. The issue is that even the building, the ones that you could build, are super expensive. So I guess that's why I stick with Glock because Glock parts are easy to get and easy to build. Um, let's talk about how does your family feel about you guys being part of the 2A? Like, how does your family feel about this, FybreGoth?
My mom was kind of into it, which surprised me, but she moved to Texas and started carrying, and I was so proud of her because she's almost 80. I
Oh, what? Damn!
was like, go,
Shout out
mom.
to your mom,
My
right?
brother and my sister-in-law, who she lives with, are so anti-gun they don't even like it in the house or anything. So I've got
Do they
one
live in California?
Texas.
What?
I know, right?
Yo. All right. And then what about you, Destiny? What did your family think when you started carrying, or they found out that you were like this dangerous person?
me. They are not in favor of it at all. My dad was kind of okay, but he was still kind of, nervous. My mom is totally against it, but she's accepting it because she has no choice. Like when she goes with me, she'll be like, "I know it's on you." She's trying to find it. I'm like, "Yeah, it's on me. Don't worry about it." My sister is afraid. My brother can't believe that I'm doing this. So, they just got to deal with
All
it.
right. And let's talk about a little bit of both of you have kids, right? And then you have kids around the house. How do you guys deal with that? Like, I know a lot of people. I even get that sometimes, where like my sister be sending articles to my mom about a kid shooting himself and stuff like that. How do you guys deal with that? Like, because I know, I'm pretty sure a lot of men, and I know for a fact there's a lot of guys that carry their gun, leave it everywhere, and they're gonna say, "Nah, we put it in the safe." Nah, you don't, bro. I know you guys. You guys are gonna leave it with one in the chamber everywhere. But once you see a female leave it like that, you guys are gonna be like, "Oh, she can't have one like that. What about the kids?" So let's start off with FibreGoth. How do you deal with that?
So most of them are in my bedroom and stored separately, like not loaded. The two that I keep loaded are on top of my armoire where nobody can reach. And from the time they can start walking, they're taught gun safety, never touch this, never point it at somebody, like just super on it about them every time they walk in our room.
All right. And what about you, Destiny?
First, I would say don't send me articles about kids shooting themselves. I see it. I don't need no one making me fearful or anything like that. But for me, my gun is literally always on me. Right now, it's not on me. It's right here on the desk. I won't show it because I don't know about YouTube.
Now you can show it. Go ahead.
Oh, baby, it stays with me. Okay,
Damn.
not far at all. So I either literally keep it on me or it's right here within arm's reach. I have two boys and we go over firearm safety daily. I'm quizzing them. Give me two laws. Give me two things right now. I don't typically leave it in the room and I don't do that whole thing because I just take it with me, but they know not to touch it.
Yeah, for real.
So,
All right, so I have a question for you guys. Do you guys think that being mothers, it's important for you guys to start teaching your kids at an early age about gun safety, or you guys think that they should learn about gun safety as they get older? What's your opinion on this? And we could go. Who wants to go?
I feel like as early as they start walking and reaching for stuff, it's important to do gun safety because if they pick it up not knowing, oh, what is this?
Yeah.
Something bad happens. I don't want to be responsible for that. So
And
right.
what about you, Destiny?
I agree. You want to get rid of that curiosity, that fearful, oh, what if I press this? What if I do that? Well, let me explain to you what will happen if you do that. This is something that you don't want to do because it can hurt people. So I think as soon as possible, if you have firearms in the house, they need to be learning about it.
Yeah, I
It
truly
is something I think when sorry,
no.
but
Go
I
ahead.
think people are like, oh, don't touch this, don't go there. That makes them want to do it more. So you want to
Yes.
break that and be like, you see it, don't touch it, but let me show you what it does. Unload it, of course, you
Yeah.
know.
No.
Um, but you got to kill that curiosity.
No, facts. I agree with that because I think that the first time I found out my dad did have a gun is because I seen it, and then he never told me anything about it. He never spoke about it. But I remember I was a kid and I was looking for it everywhere. Luckily, I never found it, but I was a kid. When you're a kid, you're curious. And I know me and you were talking, Destiny, and you had told me that is it cool if the teacher, remember the teacher part? Is that cool if I bring it up?
That's fine, yeah.
Okay. So I remember there was a teacher that told your son some dumbass information about what happens if there's a shooting or somebody has a gun, right?
Yes.
Explain to me, and this is what I try to tell a lot of people, that it's important to start being open and to be able to speak to women and explain to them about 2A. Don't try to sell them a shotgun. Oh, you need a shotgun, or don't try to sell them a pink Taurus 38 revolver, because let them get used to their guns, because most of the new women that are coming into this are either single mothers that are trying to protect their babies. So if Destiny was not aware of the situation and wasn't educated, she wouldn't have been able to correct what the teacher told her son. And could you tell us what the teacher told your son?
Yeah, so my son came home and told me that his teacher, who is a former Marine, said that if someone is pointing a gun at you or if someone's trying to rob you and they have the gun pointed at you, to run towards the gun. And when my son told me that, I was so livid because I'm like, why would you tell these kids that? That is the most insane, dangerous information that you can do. So, of course, my son, and this is why also, sidebar, it's important to have open communication with your children so that they can feel comfortable to come to you with these types of things. So, immediately we had a conversation and I was explaining why that's crazy, why that's dangerous. You respect your teacher, but bullshit like that, make sure you come to me so that we can correct it. So
Yeah, facts.
yeah.
All right, and then I want to know something. I know that it's hard for certain people to go buy a weapon, especially to go to a gun store. I remember the first time I wanted to get a gun, I went and the guy was being a dick, asking me like, "What do you want the gun for?" and this and that, and I'm like, "For home, for home defense." And oh, we'll just get a shotgun, and I'm like, "I don't want a shotgun." Oh, just get this. I'm like, "I don't want that." And he's like, "Well, what do you want?" And then I was like, "Well, I want something that I could carry in case I do get my permit to carry." How was it with you, Destiny? And then we'll move on to FybreGoth. How was it with you when you got when you actually had to purchase your first gun?
Well, I went in already knowing what I wanted because previously I did my research, YouTube University. I went to the range, shot a couple guns. So I went in there already knowing what I wanted. They weren't going to be able to sell me the sky, the blue sky, or the Taurus, or whatever. No offense to
Yeah.
anybody, but I went in knowing what I wanted. And when I went in confident, knowing what I wanted, they didn't play with me. They're like, okay, this is a good gun, good choice. This is
Yeah.
good, you know?
And have you experienced anything like that, Lisa?
No, not really. The guns I have were given to me by my mother, and then
Yeah.
everything else I've just printed. So
Yeah.
So that's
That's,
convenient.
yeah, it's. I mean, it's more complicated, but it's a lot more fun.
yeah. No, it is. I think that's something that a lot of people need to understand. Um, 3D printing is it's something amazing because I always say this allegedly, right? I don't 3D print guns anymore because of music, but I do print little tinkers and stuff like that, right? But it takes 10 days in California to be able to get your gun. Once you go and pay for it, you're gonna wait 10 days to be able to take that gun home. So that
Wow.
means you're gonna have 10 days to be a target, or say you're in an abusive relationship, or say you have a stalker. You're gonna wait 10 days for it to happen.
Oh,
So
wow.
that's why I really like the idea of 3D printing, right? Um, but let's talk about something else, and let's talk about how did you guys feel welcome when you started your journey on social media, especially when you started doing all the 2A stuff, and then you the 2A 3D stuff. Let's go with Destiny.
Let's see. I will say, because my cousin was already kind of in the two-way world, I just followed a lot of people that were interacting with him positively.
Yeah,
So I was able to come into a good kind of group of people. But there were some people that were negative or rude or mean towards me. But over time, I just blocked them because you're not finna harass me.
what about you, Lisa?
Man, I'll hit that block button so fast it'll send your head spinning sometimes. I haven't had a lot of negative experience. I mean, there's some people that I won't name making inappropriate comments,
Yeah,
but once called out, they step back and everything's chill again. But you got to call people on their bullshit.
yeah. Okay, so let's talk about this. Do you guys feel that sometimes the space that you're around, or the energy that you're getting from certain people, kind of drains you, and you're not able to do what you want to do in the community, or you feel kind of like the more you try to make the community a little bit more open and positive, you take two steps back instead of taking one step forward? Um, let's start off with you, FybreGoth.
Well, I've been trying to get some of my female friends in, and the ones I have talked to are just so uncomfortable with firearms in general, they don't even want to consider making one. And I'm just like, at least learn and learn how it works, and maybe that would make you feel more confident in what you're holding in your hands. But I mean, they have kids too, and I'm like, you want to protect your family. I mean, this city is pretty crappy. Not as bad as like some of the other ones I've seen, but at least we can open carry in our state. Makes
And
me feel safer.
what about you, Destiny? Storm Tech said crochet and carry club.
I say 2A and crochet.
Can you repeat the question? I'm sorry.
So what I was asking is that if sometimes do you feel like being in this space, trying to change it and trying to have
Mm.
people do more things that are a little bit different, like just talking to the people about it and trying to get more people in, is it more stressful, or like people don't listen? How do you feel they go about that?
I feel both ways in terms of you have people that are interested, they just don't know how to go about it, or you have people who are just totally against it because of their personal experiences of what they may have seen, or family members, something may have happened. So I see both sides. Um, so yeah, I get both energies.
Okay. And then a question I think I have for both of you is how hard is it to get or to find things so you could carry your handgun and it fits you right, or how hard is it to get holsters or bands or clothing that is actually for women, made by women? Have you had issues with it?
Hmm. I haven't had a whole lot of experience with it yet because I'm still waiting on my conceal carry.
Yeah.
But I have like some leggings that are really awkward with like this like gun pocket on the side. And I'm just like, I don't think that's gonna work. So I watch a lot of Destiny's videos and stuff for when I do start carrying.
Thank you.
What about you, Destiny?
Yeah, when I first started, I was talking to my cousin. I'm like, wow, I'm gonna have to change how I dress completely. And he was like, yeah, you are. But then I started finding different things that met my needs, like the conceal, I don't know, talk about brands or whatever, but one of the things that I use is the comfort concealment belt. I can carry in almost anything using that belt. And the holster for it is just the holster that I got from my academy sports. It's nothing fancy. So I don't really have an issue with finding clothes. I mean, certain things you just can't carry in at all, depending on how tight it is or whatever. But I mean, conceal. But for the most part, I don't really have an issue.
Okay, and then I have a question for both of you guys. What is it? What do you guys feel that is like kind of an issue right now in the 2A community? And this could be whatever you guys feel, right? Like it's your personal opinion, but do you believe that?
Excuse me.
Why do you guys believe that it's maybe harder for women to be able to get into 2A? What's your guys' opinion on that?
I think most women just aren't comfortable enough and aren't being showed like, hey, you can do this too. It's not just like a man thing, you know? And once many enemies got me shooting, I was like, yeah, this is awesome. I can do this too, you know? It's not as hard or as scary as everybody, well, a lot of women I know make it out to be.
And what about you, Destiny?
I agree with that. But also because you kind of asked two questions, and one of them were, what do you see as an issue within the community?
Yeah.
I kind of was going on a rant earlier today about how we meaning the collective, nobody in particular, but we'll see instances that happen and then we'll judge the people in those circumstances. Why didn't they do this? Why didn't they do that? But what are you doing to provide those people with that information, with that education? So I don't really like people, sitting behind their screens judging people. And then also another thing, um, it can be kind of hard to make genuine friendships with people in the community, especially when it comes to other women. So I don't like that part of it. But it is what it is. And as far as being more accepted by the men, they got to get over it. We out here and we shooting, baby. Deal with it.
All right. And then let's dive a little bit more deeper into that question. Do you think that there's a lot of men in the toy community that don't know how to approach a woman or ask a woman certain questions? Or do you think that because they see you in the toy field and you're taking pictures in a certain way that you like to take pictures, right? They're going to come at you like trying to holler or trying to slide in the DMs just because you're a female thinking that you're not educated. Do you guys get that a lot?
I've had a lot of comments, but I mostly ignore everybody that says anything inappropriate and hit the block button. So I mean, I just go out and do it, and I make friends because most of the people that I've met are genuinely like good-hearted people who want to help and teach and help you accomplish whatever goal you're trying to achieve in the group. You know, but I think a lot of them really don't know how to speak to women because they do spend most of the time behind a computer screen and are like catting or doing whatever and just spend all their time just kind of closed off. So I think having more women in the group might help with interactions if we can get them out of their little box.
Yeah.
What do you think, Destiny?
I agree. I think that they do have an issue with communicating with women. A lot of the times because they're coming from an approach of where they want to be the one to tell you how to do this. They want to be the one, don't do that, do it this way. And so it comes off um mansplaining. It
Yeah,
comes off, just kind of weird, super aggressive. I've had people, and then I ask them, I say, do you talk to the men like this? Because there's no reason why you should be talking to me like this. So I do have to check people from time to time. And I think, like FybreGoth has said, it takes us blocking them or calling them out and letting them know, don't talk to me like that. Just because I'm a woman, that doesn't mean I'm less educated than you. That doesn't mean I'm less experienced than you. We're people on this journey together. Keep it cute. Talk to me nice.
yeah, for sure. Um, yeah, I think there's a lot of guys out there that don't don't understand when somebody's kind of even being friendly. Even females, you try to be friendly and they think you're taking it another way, but you're just being friendly, right? And that's I think that's something that is sad, and I think that's what's keeping a lot of people from entering the 2A community, because a lot of people say that the 2A community is super welcoming. The 2A community could be difficult at times. And I'm not gonna get anything. I'm not trying to say anything about either men or women because everybody has a different journey, right? But I'll tell you this: there's there's a lot of there's a lot of weird energy around the 2A community. It's masculinity is one of it, and of course you're gonna be men, but at the same time, sometimes you let your knowledge overpower you, and you try to feel that you're a bit more situated for certain things because you have higher knowledge. But when you go out and shoot with these persons, they can't even hit a target.
They can't
Um,
shoot.
they can't shoot, and I think that's a big issue sometimes. Uh, but let me ask you guys a question: if you guys go on a date, and I know you're married, right, FybreGoth? But if you do go on a date, do you think it's okay if somebody invites you on a date to the shooting range? Do you feel like the guy has to pay your ammo?
Oh,
I would say if he invited me and it's a first date, yeah. I mean, it's kind of expected. You're inviting me out. You want to treat me. So at least like the first half of it, if you're shooting a bunch, I mean, that shit gets expensive. So
So the first date, you think it's right that the guy
then
pays
you can
for
trade
ammo? What about you, Destiny?
yeah. If you're inviting me to the range, you're paying my range fee and you're sharing or paying for ammo. True kings. The
off.
true kings share ammo.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm in California and ammo's expensive. But if I'm gonna invite somebody to go shooting with me and it's a date, it's like a first date or something, I'm gonna pay for ammo, right?
Right.
Um, and then from then on, maybe on the fifth date or something. No, this sounds like I thought about it too much.
Thought about this.
No, it happened to somebody I know. That's why I'm bringing it up. Uh,
No.
yeah. So, okay, let's talk about. I have a question for you specifically, Destiny. Do you think that it's harder for you to be taken serious in the 2A world because of because you're a woman? Like, do you think men look at you different? Like, do you feel that, or you think, nah, it doesn't really happen?
Um, I let's see. I see both. I do feel that they don't take me seriously. They just think, oh, she's just trying to be cute with a gun, you know, um, and then they'll comment something inappropriate because I'm looking cute with a gun. But then there are people, because I try to do my best to share the knowledge that I've gained.
Yeah.
and share that with the people on my Instagram. So some people will see that and they'll be like, damn, she's talking real shit. Sorry, cursing. She's talking real stuff right here. Like, yeah. So I see both sides more so being accepted because people are understanding that I do know what the fuck I'm talking about. I'm just not talking out the side of my neck. So
Yeah,
yeah.
facts. And then for you, well, I think this one's for both of you guys, but let me ask Lisa first. How is it, Lisa, 3D printing, right? You 3D print,
Mhm.
you crochet,
Mhm.
you take care of the home, you take care of a husband. How is it for you to do all of that and still find time to be able to be with your family? Like how is that stressful? Like, do people don't understand that you don't have just one job and when you're out, you're out? Like you have multiple roles?
It's stressful sometimes. I've homeschooled 5 kids for the last 4 years,
Wow.
in addition to like crochet and house taken care of and all that jazz. And I also take care of my grandpa who lives 20 minutes away, so I go up there multiple times a week, and it is overwhelming. We just one just graduated though, and then two just went back to public school. So now I'm down to two homeschools, so it's a little more free time in between. Although I still feel like I'm running around with my head cut off sometimes.
All right. And what about you, Destiny? How does it feel to have to do all of that and then at the same time be able to spend family time, quality time?
Well, first, shout out to you, FybreGoth. Homeschooling, that's a beautiful thing. I'm all about homeschooling. But for me, trying to find that balance is difficult sometimes because, first and foremost, the kids come first all the time. So making sure that everything's good with that. I have one at home and then one that does go to school. So making sure everything's okay with that, plus working and then trying to find and balance time for myself and then my mom and things like that. So it can be difficult. I will say it is very difficult. Sometimes I have to unplug from social media. And Instagram is like people are posting every day, so you feel like you got to post every day to stay relevant. No, it's okay to unplug. So some days the phone is just on do not disturb. No offense, but I need a moment. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, for sure.
I'm still trying to find the balance. It's a day to day thing.
All right.
It's fine balance.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit more about that, right? Do you guys think that at this time we feel like we need social media, right? I mean, social media is a blessing, but at the same time, I feel like it's a curse. Without social media, we wouldn't be here right now having this discussion. But at the same time, I know that sometimes we don't know how to say no to social media, or we don't know how to turn on our phones, or the first thing we do when we wake up is we check our phones, our notifications. Do you guys feel like social media in a way is kind of more destructive than it is helpful, or do you guys think that as long as you find a balance? What's your opinion on social media and all the politics and BS you we're around, I guess? FybreGoth?
I wouldn't be mad if the internet died in the morning. If I'm being for real. I mean, my reach sucks. Like it takes so much energy and effort to get like 100 views on something, and most of the time it's just not even worth spending that amount of time when I'm so busy running around doing all this other crap.
And
It's
what do you think, Destiny?
I do feel that it's more destructive because um looking on a kind of more deeper aspect of it, a lot of people are like in comparison mode. They see somebody else, so oh, I gotta one up them. That person's not even thinking about you, but in your head, you're like, oh, I'm not doing enough, or oh, I gotta do more, or I gotta, So I think it can be very destructive on the mental health. Emotionally, we're inundated every day with this happened over here, this happened over there, like we're getting news from places that we wouldn't even think of, all in one little device. So I think that it can be more destructive. But like you said, right here, this is beautiful. This is a beautiful conversation. We're able to reach people, talk to them about different things, get their mind going, and get them thinking about different things. So I see both sides.
Okay, and then what I want to do right now is I want to have FybreGoth ask Destiny a question. You could ask her whatever question you want to kind of know from her, and
Hmm.
then you, Destiny, could ask her whatever you want. She does 3D printing, so if you have a 3D printing question, you could ask her. But go ahead, Lisa, ask away.
So, how often do you train each week with your firearm?
Well, I do dry fire just about every day. I didn't today. Don't tell the people. But I usually dry fire every day, and then go to the range maybe like, I'm not gonna lie. At first, I was going like every week, but then I eased up every other week. Sometimes just once a month or twice a month. It all depends. But dry firing is very important. You see the results on the range. So,
Okay, awesome. I need
And
to practice
then
more.
what do you want to ask her, Destiny?
okay, what do I want to ask FybreGoth? The 3D printing world to me is still so new. I'm still understanding everything. But I will say, what is something, and it doesn't have to be a gun, but what is your favorite thing that you 3D printed so far?
So far, let's see. Well, I've printed a trident, which was really fun. That was my first. I was in the alpha group for that. And then
Ooh.
I had a black and white scorpion that was super cute because it had hearts on the handle.
Oh, wow. I
But
bet that's cute.
yeah, and then I did a Glock just because I could. But it was super like customized, like digital Nimbus frame with the anodized barrel and all the pretty things. But I think my favorite thing out of everything is these little nylon oven earrings.
Hold
They're
on.
just little teeny ovens, and they're so cute.
Cute. That is cute.
Oh, is that the Are We Cool Yet oven?
Yeah.
Damn, that's dope.
That is dope.
So that's like something I can just kind of carry around with me until I get my conceal carry and all that.
Right.
And
Yep.
then Eastwood is saying, it's Destiny. What's C offset? I'm trying to learn and familiarize with everything. I think
Sorry,
he
what?
I think he asked the wrong person, right? I
I
think he
did.
was trying to ask Fiverr because Destiny doesn't 3D print, guys.
Yeah,
So
I don't 3D
Destiny
print.
does
This is new
not.
to me.
Yeah, she doesn't 3D print. The 3D print person is FibreGoth. That's why she has that cool oven in her ears because she's telling you, "Are we cool yet?"
Oh, hail the
And
oven.
yeah,
So, I
okay,
mean, I'm not like super, super technically minded when it comes to that. I learned to calibrate with the feeler gauges, but then we have precious, so I really don't need a lot of technicalities with that. And
yeah.
Mini keeps our printers really fine tuned, so I don't have a lot of upkeep on that either, although one keeps clogging and causing some major issues. But
All right. So we have a question from Storm Tech. It says, if y'all had to pick one shit hits the fan gun, what would it be? So I guess like end of the world type of situation. What gun would you guys choose and why?
hmm. I really, really, really enjoyed shooting the Maxim 9 at the last meetup. It was so quiet and so light and so easy. I could sneak up on a motherfucker and, like, it would be great.
Yo, she thought about that.
Yeah.
What about you, Destiny?
I would go with the AK-47.
Damn.
Talking rifles, but if we're talking pistols, I love my P320.
Okay.
Red
There we
dot,
go.
the head is gone.
Damn. What?
We're going to need to team up during this
Yo,
eclipse.
you guys, I'm telling you guys need to be careful because women love to watch those crime drama documentaries. So this is perfect for them. And then I think I had another question. Let's see. I think the homie I was asking Destiny, how long would it take till we get you into 3D printing?
Whew, I don't know. like I said, I'm still trying to even understand the concept. It's just so amazing to me that you can just print shit, you know? So I would
Yeah,
have to like really have the understanding of it and somebody showing me the ropes.
yeah.
Maybe something I dabble in. I don't know.
I think the best way to get somebody into 3D printing, and this is just my personal belief and my experience, is by getting them into something that they like doing. So like FybreGoth, you started with little tinkers, right? Like you said you did the earrings and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Um,
like hair things and all
yeah,
kinds.
yeah, and like a bunch of little crafts. So for Destiny, I probably think what would probably help you would be like something for your garden, right? Because I remember I was showing you the garden stuff last time.
Yeah, you
Um,
did.
yeah, so I think stuff like that would pique your interest, and it's stuff that is not that hard to print. You know, you just I think the hardest part that people think printing is setting up the printer. But the thing is that now you could just get a printer that actually you just set it up out of the box, and then you have, I think, the Viper. That one has self calibration, so it calibrates itself all the time. You don't have to do the calibration steps, and I think that's where a lot of people have trouble. Once you set it up, the printer should just run, unless you have issues like FybreGoth is saying that her stuff is getting clogged. But usually it's just either something with the filament or you have a clogged nozzle. I mean, it sounds technical, but
It does.
it's not. Um,
It's like putting a puzzle together.
yeah, so I
Yeah.
think the best way I could explain it to you, Destiny, is like when you bought your gun, right? Did you know how to clean it?
No.
And then were you kind of scared of taking it apart in the beginning?
Yes, and I asked a few people to show me,
Hmm.
and sorry, but they're like, "Oh, it's the SIG. I don't know how to do it." But somebody on Instagram ended up video chatting and walking me through it, and now I could just take it down real easy. So I see what you're saying.
Yeah, so that it's pretty much like that. I know a lot of us were scared to take guns away, especially people that weren't around guns. Because I watched a couple videos before I took my gun apart. But once I did it, I kept doing it. But I always like to take stuff apart. So, okay. And then Stormtech is asking, if you two, if what, if y'all had two sentences to convince my wife to get more into guns, what would you say?
Hmm.
You don't want to know what I'm
Well, no, just don't say it. You
I
gotta
think we
say it.
do want to know.
Yes. Now we want to know.
You are your own first responder. The police is not coming. When they come, it will be too late. You need to be able to protect and defend your life should some shit hit the fan for real.
Damn. Facts, bro. That's all you gotta tell her. And then what would you tell her, Lisa?
I would say just because your man has a gun doesn't mean you don't need one too.
What? And and in all
My
honesty, yeah,
friend.
in all honesty, wouldn't it be super dope like if your husband and your wife both of you guys have a gun, you go to the store, now you could have a plan. You take this way, you take that way, you take one kid, we take one kid, and now we both are packed. If shit hits the fan, we get to popping.
Right.
Teamwork.
Yes,
Absolutely.
teamwork.
Yes.
Yes. That would be the best, I think.
I think so too.
Sorry, she wants her iPad. Okay, and then another question that I have, and this goes for both of you guys. What would you what do you guys believe would make it easier for women to get more involved into a and just in general for actually buying a gun and having a gun at home?
Maybe just having more women not afraid to like speak about it and show their faces and not hide, behind a mask or a screen name and just be like, hey, look, I'm doing this. You can too.
I was
But
gonna say the same exact thing. I think we're doing it. By being, with our Instagrams, even on this platform here, showing everyday women that we're not, well, I'm not military, I'm not prior military, I'm a mom. You know what I'm saying? So I think showing our experience with it, sharing our journey. If I can do it, you can do it too. And I think that because everybody likes to have somebody that they feel they can relate to. So if
Yeah.
we share this relatability of it, it might draw more people in.
Okay. Um, the homie saying that not to brag, but my wife gave me the green light to buy the 365 macro so she could have my 365 XL.
Oh, that
Okay.
macro looks so sick.
And I have this question, and this question is for Lisa. Lisa, do you think that since you started printing, since you started getting into guns and shooting and stuff like that, do you think that made you closer with Ed? Like, did that help you guys spend more time together and have a better relationship? Or
100%. Because he dove in full force, and I was like, "You're spending a lot of time on this. Let me in." So I dove in right after, and yeah, we do a lot of events together and build together. And if I'm having issues getting something together, he's right there. So it's brought us together closer. I mean, we were
oh,
already really close, but
all right, and then you, Destiny. Do you think that if you would be in a relationship, does the guy have to be pro 2A? Like, does he have to have a gun or no?
Yes. What the fuck? Yes, because of that prime example that you just gave. If we're in the store and something goes down, I'm gonna need somebody to have my six. I can't take everybody out by myself.
Damn.
So I would definitely prefer for the guy to be in the 2A just as much as I am, if not more.
Mhm.
All right, and then I'm gonna ask you guys something because I really never asked this question. Um, I mean, yesterday we kind of spoke about this, right? In yesterday's interview, but today, since I got both of you here, I want to ask, what do you think is one of the reasons that usually you have issues in relationships? And I know that a lot of the times when we have issues in relationships is because we either have hobbies that don't combine or we spend too much time away from each other, and then by the time that we want to come and reconnect with each other, we're tired or we don't have anything to talk about. Do you guys think that being in a relationship or having a relationship also depends on having a strong bond, I guess, and having similar hobbies? Do you guys think that that matters?
I think the hobbies help a lot, but also just making time for each other is a huge, huge factor. Because if you're not making time for your partner, then they're going to get bored or frustrated or annoyed or whatever. And, as much as I do all the gun CAD stuff and the 3D printed and the shooting matches, he's right there with me at my crochet events, like vending and sitting with me under the tent in the hot sun all day, just putting up with me.
That's cute.
What about you, Destiny?
I think that a lot of issues in relationships are because people are not friends first. I think that foundation of friendship, because you will, have those similar hobbies. You will have a certain level of respect for each other. So when arguments go down, at the end of the day, that's my best friend. I'm not going to go too crazy talking to him because we're friends first. So I think that people kind of skip past that and just rush into the, oh, you're cute, I'm cute type of thing.
Yeah,
Ed
for real.
and I started out. We were friends first.
See, that's good.
Yo. All right, so it's not my internet today. Yeah. I'm good. I'm good. Okay. Yeah, so Storm Tech said
Uh-oh.
I think it is your internet, Sabar.
Hard
yo,
day, Callie.
is it me? I thought it wasn't me.
It's you.
Damn. All right. So I was saying that one of the reasons I really enjoy having Lisa and Ed on the show was because the relationship is so dope. Like I had them both on the show once together, and the way they were, it was just like you could tell they got a lot of love for each other, and it's amazing, right? Because I think we all get to a point. I know this is gonna sound corny for you guys, but I don't care. But I think we all get to a point where we are craving to have a friendship, right? Like we are craving to not be alone all the time. I think in the beginning when we're young, we want to be alone, but then as we get older, we're craving for some type of connection and just to get along with somebody.
Mhm.
That's my personal opinion. You guys could put whatever the hell you want on the comments, but
Nah, he's my best friend. Like he's my security blanket. I was real nervous getting on here without him beside me because it's just like I'm so needy.
all
But it
right. And I have a last question, and this goes for both of you guys. I think Destiny, to make it easier for people, especially women, to come into the 2A community, what would you do? What would be the best way to try to get more women in this community?
Um, I think, like I said, what I'm doing now. I get a lot of women in my DM that are asking me questions. I get a lot of men in my DM asking questions on behalf of their wife. I think just being transparent with my journey on the two-way community, because you're never going to reach expert level. You're always learning and growing. So I think just being transparent with that, being open with that is going to help, those curious people in, and people saying, "Hey, I want to try that. I want to do that." So,
works.
What about you, Lisa?
I say start with getting all y'all's spouses involved, and then when they're involved, they'll bring their friends, and then it'll just grow and more. Because I mean, I'm still learning. I just started the 2A side of it, so I don't know nearly enough, and I feel like you never stop learning ever.
right. Always remain a student.
Yep.
Yeah, facts. And then I appreciate you guys for being here today. Uh,
Thank you.
I know my internet was weird, which never happened. I'm sorry, guys. It was me. It was my internet. Uh, Also, if you guys want to follow them, all their stuff is linked in the description. So make sure you guys go check out the description. Um, Lisa is always putting dope content. She's always putting a bunch of dope prints. Do you have the gun that you did recently? I think what was it? The Glock, the Glock
Yeah,
47.
with my God. Yeah, I have it. I can grab it real quick.
Yeah, could you do that? So she
Yeah.
did a dope Glock, and then Destiny's always having videos of like your reloads, what to do in case of your like what do you call it? Something awareness?
Situational awareness.
Yes, exactly. She's always doing stuff like that that I actually learn from. I mean, there's areas where I'm at that I'm not really aware of the stuff, but it's because I kind of feel like it's my like safe place, you know? I mean, like when I go for walks, I try not to be all aware of my situation, but a lot of the times I feel like, especially nowadays, the way that things are heading, I think we should all be more aware, right?
Yeah.
And I want to talk about something real quick while she's getting her gun.
Okay.
I want to tell a lot of you guys that we need to be more aware of how to be able to heal wounds, how to be able to stop the bleeding, and take classes on that because a lot of the times we might be the only ones that might be in a situation where we might be the only ones that could help that person. Not everybody is able to look at blood or be around a traumatic experience and know how to react. So we
Right.
cannot blame people for doing what they normally do, and that's get their phone and record because that's all they know. So
Right.
make sure you guys go check out Stop the Bleed classes. They got stuff for free. They got stuff around your area also for free. Uh, and then let's see, Lisa.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, hold on.
Ooh,
She's so shiny with the Louis Vuitton plates.
that's nice.
and the lower is printed, right? Is that fiber? That's
It's
nylon, right?
nylon X. Digital Nimbus did the frame. I got the
Lift it up, lift
slide
it
and the
more up.
bolt. Oh, slide and the bolt from 2A 3D print, and then the back plates are also
Yo.
2A 3D.
And then you
That's
did bedazzling, right, for the grip?
Yeah, I've decided to make everything I print sparkly, so all future prints will be bedazzled.
Yo, that's fire.
so dope.
I'm very proud of it. I know it's just a Glock, but I like it.
You see this thing? That's why you
Free.
need to get into printing because now you
Yeah,
could do something like that.
right.
Even if it's a Glock. Even if it's a Glock.
Even
Make
if
it
it's
special.
a block.
All right, guys. Before we leave, if there's any more questions you guys want to ask them, if you guys don't have any more questions, make sure to follow them. Make sure to interact with them professionally, because remember, we all have a mother. We all have daughters. Do we want to interact with certain people the way that they would interact with our daughters? No, nobody wants that. So come at people with respect,
Yes.
women, men, it doesn't matter. But make sure that if you're gonna help them out, come at it. Make sure it's a safe space. I know I say safe space a lot, but I do mean it because you don't know what people are going through, right? And I think the best way for for somebody to get help or get an answer from somebody is if you come at them right. Um, anything you want to say, Lisa, before we leave?
I think everybody should try printing at least once, and if Destaynee needs help, we'll help her.
Thank you.
And what about you, Destiny?
I would say, be aware of your surroundings and stay dangerous.
That's right. Because Destiny is gonna go for the head. She's not gonna miss.
She's gonna be on my team.
For real. All right, guys. I appreciate you. Thank you for coming. Tomorrow we got Swarm Tech. Make sure you guys tune in for that. I'm gonna let you guys go. If you guys could wait in the back or whatever it's called, and I'll come back right now. Let me just end this real quick. All right. All right, guys. I appreciate you. This is the first that I have ever interviewed two females on my show. My internet decided to act up, but it's okay. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. Remember, tomorrow we have Storm Tech. Thank you for showing up, showing support, and showing love. Make sure you guys chill and wait. Remember, make sure you guys send those submissions to We Talk Shit. Go hit them up, follow their channel, and send those submissions because they still are doing serialist. Yeah, serialist. No serial numbers. Thank you, guys.